Jamaican Canadian Association has been working to address social needs since it was founded in 1962. Another organization, Tropicana Community Services, was started in Scarborough in 1979 to address social issues affecting the growing Caribbean community.
Before we used to see a lot of young people come up from the Caribbean. Now we see a lot more of them born here to Caribbean parents. So there is the cultural difference. They want to be very Canadian. The Caribbean parents have their own idea of raising children, as we say. So there is that type of conflict in the family.
One of the things that was very specific, with my parents is that there was a big emphasis on education and going to school and trying to make sure that we got the best grades. Neither my sister nor myself were the most studious students, but they always tried to drill into us the importance of getting an education, and they always said, you have to work twice as hard being, a black person in this society.
We hear of individuals facing the realization that it is their children's generation, not their own, that will benefit from their family's move to Canada. And there are those who simply give up and return to their countries of origin, or in some cases find the United States to be more welcoming. That's not right for these individuals, and it makes absolutely no sense for Ontario.
For example, I had one kid come into the office and he says, so why should I really go and get a master's like you, Miss Getfield? And I said, because it will give you, more opportunities. And he says, well, it didn't seem to give you any more opportunities.
You have seen me in my dreadlocks on TV talking about the violence in our community amongst the young people. You have heard me say they too have a story. And so we cannot be critical sometimes, or most times of them, unless we have the opportunity to hear their side of the story.
Who is that?
Well, it's a young man that come from Jamaica, young age.
Taj was sent to live with his aunt and grandmother in New York as an infant. After a troubling period, he was sent to his mother in Toronto at age 14. He said he was a good student, completing grade 12. Although being a youth, he had some problems with teachers and fellow students. After graduating, he was unable to find a job, so he turned to making a living on the streets, because all the potential employers wanted experience, not from school, but from a business. When Pastor James, as he is known on the streets, is not at his cable installer job, he is on Eglinton Avenue West, praying with the youth and trying to direct them along a moral path.
The chief police officer of Toronto, Mr. Fantino, I see he went to Jamaica twice in 1 year, trying to figure out how he can come up with some new strategy and all these things to work with these youth and stuff. But what he had missed, he missed the fact that he didn't have to go all the way to Jamaica to find out how to deal with this issue. Because I tell you, majority of the problem is still here.
We took 19 of them off the streets, out of gangs. And we are working with them to show that they too, once they're given the opportunity to change their lives around, can lead normal, well-adjusted lives.
Well, when I say work on the streets, I'm not going to go around no bush. When working on the street, there's only a few things you can do on the street if you're not employed by somebody or running your own business per se, where the public, I believe that they have a new name they call street pharmacists. they are involved in dispensation of drugs. It's some big man somewhere is giving them the drugs. Because, I look at a man who just left university can't send to, down in Panama to get some coke, or send them to Jamaica some weed, or, you know what I'm saying? So therefore, somebody must be bringing it in. And there got to be some, let's get to the root of the problem. Yeah. Rather than they always pointing the finger at these little small youths. If you eliminate the source of the problem is controlled.
Dedicated to my brothers is this piece's inscription: for as long as you're young, black, and male, you'll always fit the description of the no good hood, good for nothing, always giving trouble. Whenever we hit the streets, cops are dispatched on the double, driving slowly behind us as though walking were a crime, looking for signs of nervousness, ready if necessary to plant a dime. In this case, the bad guys are black and the good guys wear blue. Society makes them all powerful, so what are we supposed to do? We protect animals in zoos in response to society's outcries of anger, yet our outcries are ignored and our black men remain endangered. Now you tell me, why is this?
Spoken word artist Dwayne Morgan, born in Toronto of Jamaican parentage. Tropicana ignited his talent and provided the loan that started Dwayne Morgan's career.
What most successful Jamaicans have done over the years, having migrated to Canada. You start your own business and you start it early, and for that reason then you make something of yourself in a shorter period of time, and it gives you more inner satisfaction.
Entrepreneurship is not something that was really pushed, in the Caribbean in the past. So as I was saying to you, there you see a difference in age group, where the older generation, they want to get a job and want to stay in that job and do well in that job with that company. The younger people, I think, have more of a chance because there is more training out there, so that they can get the basics of starting a business, entrepreneurship.
It's difficult for especially the black to do business in Canada, because you need a certain amount of capital to get going, and that's the same old struggle. You've got to build a relationship before you can get that entrusted by the broader community, the banks, the lending institutions.
The possibility is always there. One can never predict in this life who will achieve what. So I would never limit any individual's aspirations or outlook and potential here in Canada. I think what the Michael Lee Chin story has shown us is that hard work, honesty, and integrity will be rewarded. So we don't have to look for a shortcut or a get rich quick or to take the easy way out, but that hard work, focus, and due diligence does pay off in the long run.
Kamala Jean Gopi worked for many years as a teacher librarian in the Toronto District School Board, and more recently has been a member of the Immigration and Refugee Board. Her work in the schools alerted her to the prejudices faced by Jamaican children, and her concern resulted in a task force on education of black children in 1975.
What we need to do more and more is to become involved politically, so that we can begin to sit around those tables where decisions are made. I feel it's important that we begin to move into those boardrooms. I sit on the board of Roy Thompson Hall, and I hope I can make a difference.
Most of our clientele is from Jamaica. And they come to listen to all the good music, and they even dance inside here.
Jamaicans have infused elements of their culture into the GTA, adding to the color and the diversity of which Canada is proud, and continue to be positive in the city of promise, despite the odds.
Something good is about to happen. I don't know what it is, but I'm telling you, something good is about to happen.